Alright, so hello. We got our first patch, patch 1.05, yay! The patch that was supposed to solve all of our problems and just make the world a better place in general. Did it do that? I'm not sure. Okay. I'm being unfair. They did fix a lot of issues, and they did make some good progress in the right direction. So I will give that to you. Hats off to you, BioWare. You didn't fuck it up completely. That's not huge praise, but you're just gonna have to accept it this time, just like we accepted the patch. So on the single player side saw a lot of bug fixes and issue fixes, most of which I didn't have, so I couldn't confirm whether they were fixed or not. To the people that it fixed it for, congratulations. I'm glad and I'm happy for you, and it's great that you can play this game like you should have been able to play it on release. But they also did make some really good changes that I'm really happy for. At the top of that list is the changes to the human and Asari eyes. Now I don't know if you've seen this yet, or if you haven't seen any of the pictures on the net or anywhere making comparisons. I went around to talk to some of the NPCs, and in general, all the human characters look way better. It's actually kind of crazy how big a difference the eyes can make, but it's made an improvement. All the characters just generally look better, and I think that's really solid for. I don't want to say it's a small change. It probably took them a lot of time to go through a lot of those characters. Outside that, the increased inventory limits helps a lot. I know I am a serial hoarder, so I was basically constantly out of space, so that's good. Lip sync and facial animation, I've noticed a little bit. It's not so heavy. That before didn't really bother me. Maybe the thing where they did the little, I'm not even sure what they call it, the fish lips, the wop fish lips. But some global global interactions between your characters was fixed. That's good. Unfortunately, I can't do my really goofy, fun zigzag pattern induced running bug with Ryder anymore. I'll miss that. That was kind of that makes me laugh when the game is frustrating me solution. So it's good they fixed it, but it's unfortunate. Oh, and let's not forget arguably the biggest thing. Okay, well, not the biggest thing, but you can skip the autopilot sequences in the galaxy map now. Yes, thank God. Ugh, watching those was just needles in my eye at this point. It was wasting so much time. So that is a really big thing, and I am very thankful for them for taking that out. And I'm sorry, designer who was in charge for that, but I don't know how you thought somebody would want to see that constantly with almost no variation every single time. Before I forget, there's actually some unlisted issues in the single-player patch that they didn't mention. One of those that I've noticed just while I was running around today was that the last thing an NPC said, what is an NP? The last thing that an NPC said when you were talking to them is now listed in text, just like it was in the original trilogy. And for somebody who's admittedly really bad at listening to people, this helps a lot, and this was a welcome change. I don't know why they didn't mention it, because this was kind of good. In fact, if anyone has seen more detailed patch notes than the ones that are at the BioWare blog, please let me know, because I'm very interested in the things that they did. So, on the multiplayer side was much more specific with the patch notes, and they made a lot of changes. They did a lot of changes. I don't know if that was just to give us long patch notes or if they really think a lot of these things needed changing. But maybe the biggest change for me was the change to melee. I have lots of melee characters because I think it is crazy fun to punch things or slash things or hammer things and all that good stuff. But now, even the smallest melee tap on your character will cause you to suffer a stagger animation. And the stagger animation, just in case you haven't seen it, it kind of just makes you play I just saw something really scary, or bro, you just pushed my shoulders kind of animation. You're stuck in that for a split second, which is a decent amount of time when you're in something that wants to kill your face. So that's unfortunate. I don't think it was the right solution to the the overwhelming melee effectiveness. I think the main problem is in the barrier passive, which I am totally also guilty of using the crap out of. So, and just in case you're not familiar with that, barrier has a evolution in it that for every melee attack you do, you get 20% of your shield back, essentially making any class that has it pretty tanky, pretty survivable. But this, for every other melee class that doesn't have that, this change just kind of hurts. I have a soldier that I like to melee with, and it's harder. It is definitely death-defying going in and trying to melee things now with him, which is unfortunate because it was a super fun way to play. So hopefully they'll roll back that change or figure out a better way to implement it, maybe a scaling stagger depending on the attack, because I'm getting backhanded by, literally backhanded, by some outlaws, and it's somehow causing me to stagger as much as getting whacked by one of the giant robots or headbutted by a Krogan. And that's a weird disconnect. But okay, enough of my melee salt. Let's check out the other things. Some challenge tracking. I don't care about challenges, but yes, that's a little bit better now. The stealth grid fixed. I don't have a character that has stealth grid, but I have noticed that when I've been in groups, so that's good. Also don't have a kinet assist, but I can understand how that'd be annoying. On to the weapon changes, they made quite a few, most notably on the much pissed on assault rifles. And they will continue to get pissed on because they are still very middling. There are some good changes. The sandstorm was something I really wanted to be good, and now it's not awful. It's not going to win you any, well, literally gold medals in the real world. In the game it might win you a few now because it's not awful. The Maddock, they basically, it was kind of bad before, but they've just smeared urine all over it now. It's just not very good at all. Some of these other weapons are good. Some changes to the pistols. Apparently the Predator also was suffering from the Maddock bug that kind of hindered its rate of fire. The Predator is crazy now. It fires ridiculously fast. I remember one of the devs mentioning something like these weapons should fire as fast as you can click or press the button. The Predator does that now, and I've effectively turned it into a machine gun with almost no drift and just a really small magazine. It's super easy to get. So that's cool. It's cool. I can use the Predator instead of this bronze Predator instead of this, what is it, the gold Maddock. But, you know, that's fine, whatever. I didn't want to use the Maddock anyway. The Predator's way lighter. But besides that, also the Indra got a little bit of a buff, so now hopefully people will use that a little bit more. Vanquisher still comes out on top, even without the bug that gives you the extra 100% headshot bonus. It doesn't really, you're still killing things incredibly quickly, so that doesn't really make a difference. Vanquisher is still on top as far as weapons go, so you'll probably still get full team comps with Vanquisher. So yay for diversity. Besides that, some more general changes, some text fixes. There were a lot of changes with NPCs, with the NPC enemy factions. Some behavior changes, some point changes, and that's all good and well. The thing I noticed the most was they made some changes to the Outlaw Sharpshooter, and in case you haven't tried fighting Outlaws recently, the Outlaw before was kind of just a nuisance. You saw the laser and it kind of just made you periodically want to duck just in case he shot at you, but it wasn't ever anything life-threatening. Now the sharpshooter shoots much more often, it hurts much more, and if you come after them they have a tendency to run away, which is incredibly annoying. For a melee character anyway. For everyone else you probably won't notice it. For a melee character it is incredibly annoying. And getting them as assassination targets now is just mind-blowingly annoying, because unlike all the other enemies who are actually looking to also kill you, the sharpshooter will now run away. And I hate it, but I do think they made the right choice, and the sharpshooter now is definitely more of an enemy that stands on its own, which is cool. Besides that, not so many big changes. Berserker now will try to melee you a little bit more. Nullifiers will also melee you a little bit more, and because of that stagger change they made to melee, that will be much more of a nuisance than it was before. But I mean, all of this is a step in the right direction. This is all good stuff. I am still hopeful for the future, and so hopefully so are you. I know there's a lot of salt going around. A lot of people are disappointed with these changes, and I don't want to say give them credit for making the changes, because that's their job, and we paid for this already. As customers, we are totally entitled to complain about the crappy job they did on a lot of things. But we should also, I'm looking forward to the future, and I think that we can look forward to more good changes. Maybe the designers are just really bad at numbers or something like that. I don't know what it is. But these were good changes. We got some good changes this time, some changes, but some good changes too. So hopefully that will continue. And that's it for this time. Hopefully I will see you in multiplayer later. Maybe not now, because now is the 8th and supposedly there was a blackout on multiplayer, so I don't know. Maybe I won't see you, but hopefully on the 9th going forward I'll see you. And that's it. See you next time.